Welcome back to the special edition of Capitol Tonight. It is State of the Union night. It looks pretty calm outside the nation's capital. I can promise you it's very busy inside. We've had a busy day talking to our members of Congress, including Republican Congressman Richard Hudson. He's with the 8th District. And I asked him what he wants to hear from President Donald Trump. The Democrats talking a lot about border security, not as much from the Republican side.
Well, I'm looking forward to the president's speech tonight, and I hope he'll spend some time talking about his accomplishments over the past 2 years, which are very numerous. You know, you look at rebuilding the military, you look at what we've done on opioids, you look at what we've done on VA health care to try to get access to care for our veterans much quicker, get them better quality care. You look at the economy. The results speak for themselves on how well the economy's doing, the number of jobs we're creating. We've got a lot of things, a lot of successes he can talk about, but I also hope he'll lay out a path forward where Republicans and Democrats can work together. You know, I think the American people expect us to solve problems, to put aside the bickering at some point, and actually get things done.
Why should he is expected to preach unity and kind of working together tonight, but why should Americans believe that from President Trump tonight, particularly when you see him in Twitter fights with other members of Congress? I mean, why should Americans buy into this unity speech he's going to make tonight?
Well, I think he's got to back up the words with action. And so I think the next days, weeks, and months are going to matter. But I think it is the right tone for him to set. You know, he is the leader. He represents all the American people. And, you know, right now we're in the middle of several really messy fights in Washington. So, you know, there's no time like the present to try to lay a marker out that says, let's try and work together. You know, there are a lot of things that Republicans and Democrats agree on. And maybe tonight can be the first step moving forward.
Let me put this the other way. Stacey Abrams is giving a Democratic response. What would you hope to hear from her tonight?
Well, I don't know her. I didn't follow that election down in Georgia very closely, so I'm not sure what to expect from her. But look, Democrats and Republicans have serious differences. That's how our political system works. And I think the American people understand that. But I think at the end of the day, they expect us to put those differences aside and move forward on behalf of the American people. And, you know, you don't always get everything you want. You've got to compromise. You don't compromise on principle, but you can compromise on policy. And so I hope that tonight that can be a first step where, you know, the president will lay out an agenda that maybe there is room for common ground, and the response from the Democrats certainly we hope will at least be let's try to find some common ground.
This comes with an important deadline late next week. Do you think the president, if a deal is not done, should call for a national emergency?
Well, I think he legally can. You know, so I wouldn't argue with him on whether or not he could do it. But really, it's incumbent on Congress to solve this problem. And, you know, and if you look at the Republican and Democrat positions, they're not that far off. You know, the Democrats have said they're for border security. They said they support more resources at the ports of entry so that we can do things like better scan more vehicles. They support more border patrol. They support humanitarian assistance to those coming across the border. These are all things the president's asked for. The difference comes when you talk about the places along the border that the Homeland Security experts have said we need a barrier, and whether or not we can come to some agreement with the Democrats about putting those barriers where the you know, where the experts have said they're needed. You know, I don't care whether you call them barriers or walls or whatever terminology we use, but we do need a secure border, and really the differences aren't that great when you look at it.
All right, also the chance to talk